Hello Year 7s, we're continuing to talk about solving equations, and in this video we're going to go through a whole bunch of solving of one-step equations. So the instructions say solve each of the following equations algebraically. So we're going to be using the technique we learned in the first part. So here I have x plus 4 is equal to 25. To answer this question, I'm going to do the opposite operation to plussing 4. So that means I'm going to minus 4 from both sides. Because by doing that, I'm going to get, and I'll write this out in full. You don't have to write it out in full, but I'm just going to write it out in full the first time. I've got x plus 4, and I'm subtracting 4 from it. And then on this side, I've got 25 minus 4. X plus 4 minus 4, well, these just go away. And I've just got x. And then 25 minus 4 is 21. So x is equal to 21. That is my answer. Now you might be asking to yourself, can I check whether my answer is correct? And you absolutely can. Let me show you how you can check. So I'm just going to put a line here. If you want to check, what you do is you sub in what your answer is. So I'm going to sub in x is equal to 21 into my rule. So remember, my rule is x plus 4 is equal to 25. So into the x spot, I'm going to put 21. Now tell me, is 21 plus 4 equal to 25? It absolutely is. So it is true, therefore I am correct. So you can check your answer by subbing in what you get and see if it's true. All right, let's move on to our next one here. Here I have 5y is equal to 30. Remember, 5 and y, that's multiplication. So if I want to undo the multiplication, I'm going to have to do the inverse of it. The inverse of multiplication is division. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So remember, you're doing the opposite thing. So that means, if you don't have to, but you could write it out in full. I've got 5y, and I'm dividing it by 5. And here I've got 30 divided by 5. And that means, well, this 5 will cancel out with this 5, which means I'm just left with y. And that's what we want. And then 30 divided by 5 is 6. So it's all about undoing so we can get rid of whatever is around our pronumeral. That's what we want. We want to get rid of it. So we just have the pronumeral by itself. That's what it means to solve. Again, we can check whether or not what we've done is correct. How can we check it? We can check it by subbing in what we got. So we got y is equal to 6. So let's sub that in. Our original equation was 5y is equal to 30. That's an ugly 30. 30. That's what we started with. And to check whether or not it's true, we're going to put 6 into our y spot. So we've got 5 and we've got a 6 there. Well, 5 times 6 is 30. So it is true. So you can see by chucking it in there, by subbing it in, you can check whether or not you've gotten the right answer. And we have. That is the right answer right there. Let's now move on to our next one. This one, we've got q divided by 5 is equal to 10. Again, what we want to do here is our opposite operation. So q divided by 5. We want to undo that division. To undo it, we're going to multiply both sides by 5. That means I'm just going to be left with q on this side because I'm undoing that division by 5 by multiplying it by 5. And then 10 times 5 is 50. So q is equal to 50. And again, if you're wondering whether or not you've done it correctly, you can check it. You can check it by subbing it in. So I'm going to put 50 into my q spot. I'm going to divide that by 5. 50 divided by 5 is 10. It's true. So remember, you can check it by subbing it in. All right, only a few more examples here. I'll just go through these examples and then we'll stop. You might want to pause the video and see if you can do these for yourself. So pause the video and see if you can do them for yourself. And then play it and see if you got them right. All right, the first one here. Remember, we want to solve for y. We want y by itself. To get y by itself, I have to get rid of this minus 2. So I'm going to do the opposite operation. What's the opposite of minusing 2? It's plussing 2. So I do that to both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other side. 17 plus 2 is 19. And then y minus 2 plus 2 is just y. So my answer is going to be 19y. And again, if you wanted to check whether or not you've done this correctly, you can. The way that you check is you simply go, all right, I'm putting 19 into my y spot, so I'm going to go 19 minus 2. 19 minus 2 is equal to 17, so it's true. Let's keep on going to our next one here. This next one looks a little funky, but we know this is 7 plus x. Would you agree with me that another way of writing this is x plus 7? And the reason why I rewrite it like this is because you can see that there's a plus 7 here, but you don't really need to rewrite it. It's kind of pointless to rewrite it. You know that this is a plus 7, and therefore to get rid of that positive 7, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract it. You're going to subtract it. So that means you're going to get 30 minus 7, which is going to be 23. And then 7 plus x minus 7, that's just going to be x. So x is equal to 23. And if you wanted to, you could sub that in and check it. And if we did, we would get it to be true. We know that. All right, last one. For this one, I've got 7 equals y divided by 4. I want to get rid of this divided by 4 to get y by itself. So I'm going to times this side by 4 and times this side by 4. Remember, it's all about doing that opposite operation. 7 times 4 is 28. Then I've got y over 4. That's just going to be y because I've undone it. I've undone the operation. And that is my answer. 28 divided by y. Again, if you wanted to check it, let's check this one just for the fun of it. We're just going to take our original equation and into our y spot, we'll put in what we found. Does 4 go into 28 7 times? It absolutely does, because 7 4s are 28. And that is how we do it. That is how we solve equations, everyone. Hopefully this made sense. Hopefully you feel comfortable with this idea because it's a very important idea. All right, I'll see you in the next one.